Well, Happy New Year, everybody. Merry Christmas, wherever it is for you. It's actually January 9th at this point. So we're already a little bit into the new year. And if you are anything like me, you ate too much, drank too much, and just did way too much of everything over the holidays. So we're here to share with you how you can lose some of that weight or just get healthier overall or just get more energy, whatever it is that your goal is for this year. If you just want to feel better, this is an excellent way to do that. So a little bit about me is my name is Monica Laura. I'm an executive area manager with Arbonne International. I've been using Arbonne products for over 5 years now. And my best friend introduced this to me as Meralda Saldana. And when she introduced this to me, I was interested and excited about the products because I had acid reflux, cystic acne, I had a thyroid issue at the time. And so it was very interesting to me to find a healthy way to relieve some of those issues. However, as far as the business is concerned, I said, no, I don't do that selling thing. So fast forward 2 years and she got her white Mercedes and I said, okay, let me take a second look. And I did. And at the time I was teaching. I taught business, college business, and I absolutely loved what I did. So I did that because I wanted something where I can contribute and give back to people. It wasn't enough just to go to a job every day and just make money. I really wanted something where I felt like I was contributing to the betterment of society. And but the reality was I took a pay cut to do that, and it wasn't affording me the time and money that I needed for my growing family at the time. I was expecting my first child. So I decided to take a second look, and after some investigating and some research, I found that Arbonne was a legitimate, lucrative business, and mostly because of this amazing, amazing product lines, and healthy lines. And secondly, because of the compensation plan. So I jumped in and I very quickly became district manager, and shortly after that became area manager. And thank God I did, because I've been so blessed to be able to stay home with my second child. I have a daughter now and she's a year old. And when I was 3 months pregnant, I was let go from that job. And we had Arbonne as an income at that point. So I'm very, very blessed that I'm able to stay home with my children and be available to whatever needs they have for my 4-year-old and my 1-year-old. So I just wanted to give you a little background to how and why I love this company and love this business so much. But moving forward, I do want to share with you what is this healthy living, 30 days to healthy living that we are doing, that I'm specifically doing, and that I announced today on my Facebook that I'm committed to losing 50 pounds I'll introduce him in a second or in a little bit. I'm committed to losing 50 pounds in about 3 months. So my goal weight is 130. I've done the program before. And again, like I said, I started with nutrition line, then I went to the skincare. And then after that, I went to the makeup, and I'm so glad that I did. Because I feel better. I feel that I look better. And I can get through the day. In a healthy way. I can get through the day in a healthy way without, running for that cup of coffee. And so when I started using this, I was drinking a grande black coffee in the morning, and I had a mini Red Bull by noon, and I had a latte in the evening to kind of ease my way through the evening, because I was teaching morning and evening. And so when I hear people say, oh my gosh, I can't get rid of my coffee, trust me, I have yet to meet somebody who has drank as much coffee as I have and been able to stop, and I haven't had coffee in 5 years. So you really do get rid of those urges. So let me show you and share with you exactly what I am talking about. Let's see if this works here. Okay, there we go. All right. So, okay, so everything that I'm going to share with you as far as my personal testimony is our own testimonies. However, this plan was put together by nutritionists and physicians and members of Arbonne. So this isn't something that I made up by any means. This is something that I was taught and I have followed, and I've done my own research and found that it's a very realistic method of getting healthier. So Arbonne's been around for it'll be 37 years. And that's important because what you're trying or what you may try or what you're going to use isn't something that's just been around a couple years and we don't have enough studies or statistics to see the results of it. We have hundreds of not thousands of results from this. We're Swiss heritage, which if you do your research, you'll find Switzerland has one of the lowest rates of cancer in the world. We go by European standards, which means the European Union has banned over 1,800 ingredients from their product lines, and the US has banned less than 20. We're vegan certified, so that doesn't matter whether or not you're vegan. I'm not vegan. I still eat my meat and every so often, but I don't rely on it as much as I used to. We're plant-based, artificial-free, no color, sweeteners, or fragrances, no dairy, soy, or gluten. And I know there's a great deal of gluten intolerances out there today, so this would be perfect for you. We're non-GMO verified, and we're a fast-growing company on the verge of globalization. So we're really fairly expanding and sharing all of our nutritious products with the rest of the world. So in the US, UK, Canada, Australia, Taiwan, and Poland. And we have amazing incentive trips, jewelries, Mercedes, cash bonus. Like I mentioned, my best friend has hers, and I'll soon to get mine. So what do we know with our health? Well, a third of adults and children are overweight, obese, or morbidly obese. You don't believe me? Go outside your door and look. You don't really need to do much research to find that the statistic is pretty accurate. Obesity-related disease is leading cause of death, and the autoimmune disease is skyrocketing. So if you have anybody or know anybody or yourself that suffers from high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, cancer, depression, autoimmune disease, neurological disease, this is something you would really want to consider. And Fred is here, and I'll share with you in a bit about his experience having type 1 diabetes and how this has worked for him. So what's the problem is too much sugar. 70% of the Western diet is made up of dead processed foods, and poultry are loaded with hormones, antibiotics, and fillers. We're filling our bodies with generally modified frankenfoods full of chemicals and preservatives, causing us to be overfed and undernourished. Our digestive system is overwhelmed with convenience foods, and it's showing up in our health. Little fit fact is the average American consumes an astounding 2 to 3 pounds of sugar each week, and over 135 pounds of sugar per person per year, compared to 5 pounds per person in the 1900s. So what's the medical community's answer? Just lose weight, eat less, exercise more, medicate, treating the symptoms, not actually identifying what the problem is. And then what's society's answer? Starvation diets, processed diet foods, counting points, counting carbs, counting calories, counting. You know, do this, don't do that, so forth and so on. Which you really don't end up finding out what exactly is happening with your body. So reasons why you should detox: if you have low energy, if you experience brain fog or frequent headaches, are taking prescription meds. I often get that question, oh, but I'm taking medication. Then you definitely want to consider this, because it's going to help your body absorb what your body needs from the medication, and not all the extras. And we've all seen those commercials with could cause blah 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 blah. Well, we don't want the blah 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 blah. We just want the part that we need. Joint pain, food allergies, suffer from constipation, you feel bloated or gassy after meals, suffer from indigestion, acid reflux was me. Can't function without coffee, that was me. Experience aches, pains, or stiffness. Have difficulty losing weight, experience a plateau in weight loss, are consuming fast foods or processed foods regularly, are consuming regular or diet sodas. So these are all reasons you should detox. And detoxification is essential. To eat clean, no pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, chemical or artificial sweeteners, colors, flavors, cleanse the liver, elimination organs, identify allergenic and addictive foods, and are sabotaging your health. Restart your body's metabolic thermostat, and reduce food cravings by stabilizing blood sugar. So what if there's an easy program that combined clean eating with delicious food and would eliminate toxins? A program that would reduce inflammation, which is the biggest problem. You know, we often don't realize that inflammation is at the essence of all of our health issues. Balance blood sugar, curb the cravings, boost your energy in a healthy, natural way, and help the body transition from acidic to alkaline. correct nutritional deficiencies, and reduce oxidative stress. That's all me. So what are 30 days to healthy living and beyond? Because we really want to teach you and learn how to continue a healthy way of life and not be dependent on any products necessarily, but make sure that our diet is healthy, and then anything that we add to it is what's good for us. So we start by removing our allergenic and addictive foods. Dairy products, gluten is anything with wheat, processed foods, margarine or similar types, coffee, soda, and alcohol. A little struggling with the alcohol myself. Artificial sweeteners, refined sugar, and soy. So instead we choose clean eating, fresh fruits and vegetables, raw veggies, raw fruit juices, brown rice, quinoa, oatmeal, nuts and seeds, beans, organic eggs, turkey, organic chicken, grass-fed beef, and wild-caught fish. So you do this for 30 days, and you then live by the 80-10-10 rule, meaning 80% of the time you eat clean and healthy. 10% of the time you have to choose food that maybe isn't so great or something that you prefer or are used to. And then 10% of the time your tia makes your favorite, tamales or whatever it is, like over the holidays, and she makes sure you eat some. So this isn't about starving yourself or completely going out of your norm. Why we do low glycemic, not low carb. Low carb is diets have the lowest long-term success rates. You're gonna eat noodles someday and you don't want to, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? I counted wrong and now I'm losing and blah blah blah, whatever it is. Low glycemic is not spiking your blood sugar, is smarter way to go. It's the insulin that is secreted in response to eating simple carbs, bread, crackers, and white potatoes that is the culprit. Insulin then signals the body to bring the blood sugar down and hold on to the fat. And scientists have established that anything that causes a rise in blood sugar results in inflammation. So a little fit fact, inflammation is at the basis of virtually every disease process, such as cancer, Alzheimer's, heart disease, and wrinkled skin. Although wrinkled skin is not a disease, we don't want it. So why no gluten or soy? Gluten is found in most grains like wheat, rye, and barley, and gluten and soy are acidic proteins. Difficult to digest and allergenic. Immune system attacks these proteins, causing inflammation, bloating, pot belly. Gluten inflames the intestines, causing it to leak into the bloodstream, and soy contains phytoestrogens that can mimic the female hormone estrogen. Drinking 2 glasses of soy milk a day has enough phytoestrogens to alter a woman's cycle. So again, all of these things is just our food is not made the way it used to be, which is why it's important for us to understand how it is made, how it's grown, how it's fed, and what we can do about it. So dairy is highly acidic and allergenic. So just like when you have that cold or you have congestion and the doctor says, well, cut out your dairy. If dairy were good for you, then you wouldn't need to cut it out. You would need to have more of it. But you need to cut it out because it creates that phlegm. So dairy contributes to acne and mucus production. Countries with the highest consumption of dairy have the highest rates of breast cancer and osteoporosis. Where we thought osteoporosis, which is your bones getting a little brittle, we thought that you needed more dairy, right? The EPA states 100% of beef and 93% of cheese and ice cream is contaminated with DDT. Whey is a major contributor to intestinal toxemia, which can lead to an overgrowth of bacteria leading to IBS or Crohn's disease. This is a question I constantly get, or an argument that I constantly get, that, oh, I use whey protein. I always tell these people, go and do your own research on whey. Don't take my word for it. But again, this isn't a program I put together. This was a program put together by nutritionists. So if you question it and question what you're using, then please go and do your research, okay? Now, I'd like to introduce an amazing friend, cousin of mine, and fellow consultant. He has an amazing story about his type 1 diabetes. So like I said, the system is perfectly safe for people who are diabetic. And Fredrick Valdivia, take it away.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Monica. Well, a little bit about myself. Hello, everyone. Most of you already know me. My name is Fredrick, Arbonne consultant. I started eating, well, I've had type 1 diabetes since I was 13 years old. Always battling blood sugars and prescriptions, whatnot. I never felt really good, always tired, groggy. So about 3 years ago, I decided to, well, actually going on 4 years now, I decided to clean up my diet. I just, little by little, I started cleaning it up, stopped drinking milk, diet sodas, I switched from grain to whole grain. I did all that. Thought I was, living a pretty healthy lifestyle. Every time I cleaned up my diet a little bit, I lost a little bit of weight. Had to take a little bit less insulin. So I kind of did this the hard way. Using myself as a science experiment. I lost most of my weight before I tried the Arbonne 30-day to clean eating. But what I noticed most when I did use it, finally, after about a year of Monica trying to get me to try it, was how quickly it improved my overall well-being as far as my metabolism, my recovery from my workouts. I do a lot of road biking, and it was very hard for me to get sore or even too tired when I was doing the 30-day because my energy was through the roof. I noticed I was already eating pretty clean, so I didn't lose any weight. As a matter of fact, I gained about 5 pounds on the 30-day program, but I lost about 1.5 inches off my waistline. So I take it that was mostly muscle that I was gaining. I'm now down to a size 32-inch waist. When I first started, before I was eating clean, my waist was up to like a 40-inch waist, I would have to admit. And it wasn't until I got my diet right that, the weight started coming off. All the time I could spend at the gym didn't matter if I wasn't eating right. I didn't get the results I wanted until, I started eating right. And Arbonne is something that I wanted to share with all of you because it works so good. There's no gimmick. It's just nutrition and science. And if you just try it, you'll feel how good everything works, regardless of your condition. Once you're eating clean and feeding your body right, it'll repair itself. At least that's from what I've learned, through trial and error, of course. I don't know where else to go with this, but Monica wanted to share some more information.
Thank you, Fred. Okay, so let me explain what exactly it entails so you can have an idea of what we're talking about. So you get 2 protein shakes, 2 bags of protein. The protein comes from yellow peas, brown rice, and cranberries. So again, we are a vegan certified company. So all of our ingredients are going to be botanically based. And it's what I love most is that it's filling. I've used other shakes and I would still be hungry afterwards, or I'd be starving, for the rest of the day. I don't feel this way at all. And I was incredibly, incredibly shocked by that. I actually feel my energy, especially when I have it first thing in the morning. It feels great. Second thing is the fiber boost. The fiber boost comes with 1 scoop is about 12 grams of fiber. And we're supposed to be having about 26 grams of fiber a day, and the average person has maybe 6. So you can have 1 to 2 scoops a day, and if you have 2 scoops a day, you'll fulfill the fiber intake that you need. Now, naturally, if you're having other fiber, then you won't need as much. But what I love about this is that the fiber is tasteless and it's odorless. So you can add it to salad, or you just throw it in with your shake if you're going to do the shakes. My absolute must-have in my cupboard at all times is the Digestion Plus. And this is a probiotic, prebiotic, and 11 enzymes combined. So basically, in a nutshell, this is helping your body accept whatever nutrients you're giving it. And so this is kind of going along with what Fred was saying. He was already eating clean, and he thought like, oh, well, what more could you possibly do to help me? Or how could my body possibly get any healthier? Well, what happens sometimes when we're eating or whatever it is, just the toxins in the air or drinking, whatever it is that we're experiencing on a daily basis, our body holds on to it. And it doesn't allow, when we do have nutrients, something nutritious, a salad, let's say, doesn't allow our body to accept all the nutrients and the vitamins that the salad has to offer. So we technically don't get all of those vitamins. So the Digestion Plus helps with that. My daughter, she's a year old and she's transitioning to natural foods and so forth and so on. And so sometimes that adjustment could be a little difficult. I was able to give this to her. Okay. So this is number 1. Gave it to my dad for Christmas as a Christmas gift. It's one of my favorites. The second favorite. Now I'll say that this was my first favorite because when I was getting off of my caffeine addiction, this was my salvation. These are our fizzy sticks. They are, it's a natural energy, a natural calm energy. So you're not going to feel that spike, that high and that low that you're going to feel with coffee. It's just going to be a calming energy. It has B12, B6, chromium, all these things that are good for you. And again, botanically based. So you just kind of feel like I'm awake and I'm clear thinking. It also helps with depression or minor depression just from day-to-day life. So these were my number one faves, and they're probably even with my other faves, but I have maybe 1 to 2 a day. And I'll be honest, for you heavy coffee drinkers, when I started weaning myself off coffee, I had to have anywhere from 3 to 4 in the beginning, but I'm over that now, way over that. Usually 1 to 2, if I absolutely need it, is good. The 7-day cleanse, this we jokingly call it the Drano because it helps remove the metals from your body. So you would do this on the 3rd week of the program. And when you do this, you would remove the Digestion Plus from your daily routine because you wouldn't need it. And what you would do is you would put this in 32 ounces of water, and you would slowly sip it over 4 to 6 hours. So again, none of this is going to make you rush to the restroom. You would add this to your program on the 3rd week. And this just helps kind of get the final toxins out that after you've been teaching your body how to eat clean and feeding it all these vitamins. The tea, absolutely love the tea. I have it in the morning when I want something warm. Like today, it was a little rainy here in California. And so I have it warm, and I'll add I'll add a fizzy stick if I want something sweet, or I'll have it right before I go to bed. It does not have any caffeine in it, so it's perfectly healthy. And basically, it's a light kidney and liver cleaner. So I notice when I do have it before I go to bed, I sleep a lot better and a lot deeper. The greens balance. This again is something that you can add to your shake, or you could do it separately. I know this is something that Fred has said that makes all the difference for him in his diet. And basically, this is 32 fruits and vegetables that you get in one tiny little scoop a day. So most of us don't eat enough. I mean, the reality is probably we would need to eat veggies all day in order to get our nutritional intake from them. So this helps with that, in addition to whatever you're already eating. So what does it look like? What does your day actually look like? So you have a shake for breakfast, a snack, a shake for lunch, a snack, and your dinner. And with any of these meals or in your snack, you would have the fizzy stick in between and so forth and so on. You could replace or exchange, or you can exchange one meal with a shake as if it's a lunch or a dinner. So if you prefer to eat for lunch, you can have that, and then you can have your shake for dinner, which is actually what I prefer to do because I'm more of a lunch person. And again, you go by the 80-20 rule. So if on a weekend you're going to have a meal for lunch and dinner, that's fine. This isn't really about starving yourself or killing yourself or torturing yourself in any way. Now, this is our skincare line. And like I said, I started with the nutrition, and then I went to the skincare, and then I went to the makeup. And the reason that I started with the nutrition is because no matter what we have going on in our skin, usually the inside is the culprit for that. So our skincare line, again, is vegan. And once I transitioned to this, my cystic acne was gone. This is our anti-aging line. I love this because it actually lasts a good amount of time, anywhere from 3 to 9 months, depending on how diligent you are. I was not the type of person who liked to wash my face. It just seemed like so much work. And this just made it a lot easier, and it really helped a lot. And if you don't know, anything that we put on our skin goes into our bloodstream within less than 30 seconds. So when you think about maybe some of the products that you're using over the counter and you don't know what's in it, or now you're questioning it, definitely look into it. There's a lot of junk in there, a lot of toxins in there. So this is perfectly safe for you. Now, this is our beautiful friend of mine and fellow sideline sister. This is her journey, just over 30 days, but she stayed on the program and she's lost well over 30 pounds. And more than anything is that she had IBS and she no longer does. And the doctor had her on all these medications, and she doesn't have that problem anymore, just from healthy eating and from all the vitamins and nutrients that she's getting from this 30-day program. So I'm very proud of her and happy for her, and she feels amazing and, of course, looks amazing. And then this is now after a year. So you can see the significant difference. I'll go back for a second, just so you could see, obviously, in 1 month. And she did this while she was nursing, so it's safe to do. We just have to make some minor adjustments. And then what a difference a year makes, right? Wow. Yeah. So this is another person that lost here over 20 pounds. And as you can see, it's not necessarily that she was heavy to begin with, but as I mentioned, inflammation is the culprit of everything, or of most everything. So it was just a little inflammation that she had, and she was able to get rid of that. So going back to the business part of it. So what is it that we do? Well, like I said, I could never do a business that was just about making money. It was very important for me to share with my cousin of how this could help him in many ways, and mostly his health, because I clearly remember the day that he was in the hospital. I think we were only 14 years old. I don't remember exactly how old we were, but when you're 14 years old and you see your best friend and your cousin in a bed and you don't understand why he's sick when he's so active and you're so young, it never leaves your head. So this was something that I definitely wanted to share with him. And I know how passionate he is and was about nutrition. Yes, go ahead.
I'd like to, sorry to butt in real quick.
No, go ahead.
I left an important part out. When you mentioned the digestive plus,
Yeah.
helping your body absorb the nutrients that you're trying to feed it. Well, one of the big things that I left out was that I noticed that it helped me absorb the insulin I was taking a lot more efficiently. So my first week, I was having a lot of low blood sugars. I was eating more actually, but because my metabolism was working so well and I was able to absorb everything, including my medicine, I was forced to lower my medicine while I was doing the 30-day. Wow. And that's something that's pretty big for me, because I got it down. I mean, prior to Arbonne, I had already been eating really clean, and I was only taking a fraction of what I was taking prior. But it took me to the next level. So I'm only taking a very small amount of insulin while on the 30-day, which really sold me into like this something that's real, that yeah. it works. If it helps me with my insulin, taking less, I just could imagine what it could help with anybody else taking any type of prescription medication.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Thank you. Sure. Which is, important, because type 1 diabetic needs insulin. Their body's no longer producing insulin. So here you have your firsthand testimony. So how do I earn a living off of this? How do I actually get to help people do what I love, get healthy, get energy, and make money off of it? So there are 4 levels. District manager is the first one, and that one can take anywhere from 1 to 5 months. It's all up to you. And you're making an extra $200 to $1,500 a month. And that was really exciting for me, because that was like, okay, great. I was covering my car payment. Why not? Why not cover my car payment? The second level, area manager, which is where I'm at, this was really, really important for me to get to, because your business is now willable. And when I left my job, they said, here's your last paycheck. Have a nice life. Well, God forbid something happens to me. If anything does, my family will continue to receive a paycheck for up to 7 generations, as long as there's a paycheck to receive. So it's a company that continues to show how much they appreciate you and they value what you've done for them or with them. And you can make anywhere from $1,200 to $3,000 a month. That can take 5 to 11 months. I did it in a total of 9 months. Everybody's journey is different, but that was pretty powerful. I mean, what would you do if you had an extra $1,200 a month? Prior to Arbonne, because I was working full-time, my Arbonne paycheck was going into my savings account. So we were able to have a savings where we weren't before. The third level, regional vice president, which is where I'm on my way to now, is where you get the white Mercedes. And all I think to myself is, hey, if I don't have to have any car payment and somebody else is covering that cost, so be it. Thank God. I really hate having a car payment. So you get an $800 bonus towards that white Mercedes, and you can make anywhere from $5,000 to $8,000 plus a month, and that can take an average of 1 to 3 years. What stood out for me about this in this level was the number of people that are at this level. And right now, just in Southern California alone, there's probably at least anywhere from 2 to 4 car presentations a month. So that tells me that this is working, and people are doing it, and people are succeeding in it, and people are loving it. And so it's a company that, is what it says it is. And in my prior business, I could never make that money in a year or 3 years. I'd have to, who knows who I'd have to step on to get there. The fourth level, national vice president, your average income is $20,000 plus a month, and your white Mercedes bonus goes up to $1,000, and that can take anywhere from 3 to 5 years. Now, again, what stands out for me about that is that type of paycheck would have never been an option in any other field that I was in, no matter, as educated as I am. And so what could be possible with that money? And all I thought to myself is, I have to work for the next 5 years anyways. I have to work for the next 10 years. I have to work for the next 20 years. Might as well do something that I know I could keep growing in the company for certain. And I don't have to wait for somebody else to leave, or I don't have to wait for somebody else to get fired or compete with anybody else. I can go regardless. So just to close up here, let me tell you how you can buy this. So the entire detox program as a preferred client, you get anywhere from 20 to 40% off, but you get the entire thing at 40% off. So $426 value for $255. And that breaks down to $8.50 a day for 2 meals and 4 drinks. Like, you can't even go to the dollar menu and get something nutritious like this for $8.50 a day. I was buying Starbucks twice a day, every day for a week. I was spending on average anywhere from $50 to $100 a week at Starbucks. And those of you who go on a regular basis, start calculating how much you're spending. It's ridiculous. As a consultant, for only $79 and $30 to renew, you get this package for 50% off. And for an entire year, you get 35 to 50% off. And now this package is $213, and so it breaks down to $7 a day for 2 meals and 4 drinks. So that's it in a nutshell. What we do that is so different than any other program is that we actually help you through it. So you get a dedicated, committed consultant. Whoever sent you this video will guide you through it and check in with you on a regular basis. They will add you to a Facebook where you're going to get constant recipes, uplifting, motivational quotes, conversations if you have any questions, and just the guide of where you should be at. And if you have any concerns, then you can reach out to either your consultant or on Facebook, whichever works for you. So this isn't something that we say, okay, thank you, you bought it, have a nice life. No, we want to make sure that you are successful with it, because we're only doing this to help you get healthy and feel better. That is our #1 goal. That is beyond, I can't even tell you how measurable it is that my cousin was able to lower his insulin. I can't imagine being in this situation. So if this is something you're remotely interested in, make sure that you ask the person who sent this to you. If you have more questions, we are more than happy to answer any questions that you have, either if you have them now or if you, the person who sent this to you. Don't worry if you want to do your own comparison shopping, or if you want to ask us about comparisons, how it compares to others. We'd be happy to help you answer any questions. But like I said, do your research. Don't just settle for the first thing. If you really want to make 2017 different, this is an excellent start. So thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate you stopping by, and if anybody has any questions, I'm happy to answer them.